money, Jordan Belfort. Stacking penny stocks while I'm flipping these birds. Sipping on Ciroc, trip 'em up with the words. I done popped the Molly and I think it's be my third. Jordan Belfort.
What is going on, DGen Nation? Kenny Kim here, bringing you another Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast this week for the DELL Match play, whatever WGC craziness that happens every week this year in Austin, Texas. No Tyler again this week. He is traveling back from his Run Pure Sports getaway. Of course, I'm here with our third member of the Fantasy Golf Degenerates, Ryan Baroff. Ryan, how are you again?
I am good. Good to be back. And if Tyler's going to win 100K every week that he skips, I guess he will just continue skipping.
Yeah. He definitely took down almost $100,000 last week. Our own Tyler Tamboline, who wins all that money, and I win like $200-300 in cash. Hey, that's the way it goes. That's how we do our podcast. We go both ways. It all works out. So it sort of sucks that he wasn't around last week for the pod. Since he won all that money, but good for him. He'll be back. He'll be back for the Valero Masters from then on. So, make your money then. Just make sure you pay attention to him and not me. Let's talk about this past week. The Valspar Championship, always a fun course. This year, it seemed a little bit softer than normal. The rains earlier in the week didn't really put too much of didn't make the course show its teeth as much until Sunday. Sunday, a little bit more firm. That one guy on TikTok, you see that TikTok video of Justin Thomas?
I saw it today. Yeah.
There was a guy.
It didn't seem bad. I don't know what happened.
It didn't seem like it was a really big deal. JT had him thrown out. So I guess if you didn't see the video, JT was about to chip on, I don't know what hole it was, but one guy was like, it's getting firm out there. Might need that bump and run. That's all he said. That's all the fans said.
I'm guessing there was more that the camera didn't pick up. I'm guessing.
Maybe, but it's a little douchey, but it's nothing to get kicked out of the damn tournament for by the police. At least that video, you're right. Hopefully there was more. If not, and that's someone who needs to chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I get it. They're playing for millions of dollars. I understand, but you have to realize. That stuff's going to happen every week, especially now. Like I said, we've talked about before with gambling and DraftKings and everything being so heavily promoted. This is something golfers are just gonna have to deal with. And it's not like it was even that bad with Justin Thomas. Well, let's forget about that. Let's talk about the tournament itself. I'll be honest with you. Saturday and Sunday, I didn't watch very much. I had a little accident on Saturday.
It didn't sound like an accident.
It was an accident. So I played around in golf. We killed a bottle of Crown. It wasn't, we're all professionals here. We had so it was a leader, 4 people. So I wasn't like wasted. But a buddy of mine gave me these new edibles, gummies, weed candy, whatever, legal in Virginia. So there's no problem. So usually when I get them, I'm used to like 10 milligram little pieces, right? And I always just pop 2 in. This has sort of become my nature. And then like 30 minutes later, I pop 2 more. I'll be done. 40 milligrams. Chill. I've done more, but there's really no need. And then I ate 2 of these, and I look at the little box, and it says 600 milligrams of THC, and there's 10. So I just did the math in my head. I was like, wow, I just ate 120 milligrams worth of marijuana. I was like, oh, that's not going to be good. So what ended up happening was I just laid on my couch. I was supposed to go out, laid on my couch, watch a little bit of the golf preview, ended up eating like $50 worth of McDonald's, passed out around midnight, woke up at noon, still stoned, watched like 10 minutes of the coverage, fell back asleep, woke up at like 4:30. So I passed out for like 16 hours straight.
Sounds like a great weekend.
So I basically missed all of the golf. I saw the end. I saw Burns make that really, really nice par putt on bogey putt on 17, which saves his ass, 10-footer. And then I saw Davis rally birdie 17 and then the playoff. And then I went back to sleep. So that was my weekend. Not very eventful. I missed most of the golf. What'd you think of the event?
I also didn't watch much. I actually watched more on Thursday and Friday when the teams were doing better. I had all the Burns, all the JT, lots of Adam Hadwin, who kind of didn't finish strong, but couldn't get anything going. Didn't have any of the right sleepers there, and had some guys like Pat Perez just blow up over the weekend. So, but yeah, like what you said, I think it's a fun event. it's not a fun course. It's a good course for the tournament. It's not a fun course. There's nothing fun about it. But it challenges these guys. And of course we had a much stronger field than we normally do. So it was good to see some of the studs play.
Yeah. You want to see how well the chalk hit. My cash game cornerstones went 3 for 4. I had Burns as one of my cash game cornerstones, the winner. I went 4 of 6 and I didn't even sniff the cash line. So that one hurt a little bit, even though my Bill Haas guy, he made the cut. Tyler Tamboline. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Tyler. Loan me like $5, dog. You know I'm good for it.
I think they ended up really close, didn't they? Both him and Hickok. With Hickok, I think he started better and then faded off. But
what's his name? Bill had the 66 on Friday to make the cut. But
run good. There you go.
Yeah. But it still didn't matter. I had Schwab and I think I had Pan, or somebody like that. No, Answer. Answer was the one that missed the cut. He started off Friday really shitty and just never was able to come back. Hey, one good thing, both my one and dones, Burns, moved on up a little bit there, so it's not bad. But yeah, let's enough talk about that week. Let's go ahead and talk about before we move into this week. Let's talk about our listener league winner. Our listener league winner this week was Michael Astrup. No avatar. 571.5 points. Really solid. That's pretty good. I had 6 of 6 in the listener league, and he beat me by 106 points. And I finished in 75th in the money, but still 106 points back. All right, this guy had Matthew Fitzpatrick, who finished in 5th, who's just low key playing golf well every week that I don't roster him. I rostered him last week and he missed a cut. He had 22% owned, 97.5 points. He had Samuel Burns, 3rd win in the last year, I think, for Mr. Burns. 132 points, 17.33% owned. Alex Norman, who's been playing very, very well, almost 25% owned, 89.5 points. Gary Woodland, another guy who's been playing well, who's on track for a win here soon. 10% owned, 87 points, finished in 21st. Adam Hadwin, again, we're looking at more chalk here, 25% owned, 91 points, finished in 7th. And Appy Barnrat, that was the random one.
From the clouds. I know. I was just gonna say this is like a nice balanced lineup where he just happened to hit all of the mid-tier plays that crush. But the Barn Rat, who is a scoring machine.
Barn Rat call, 18 birdies. Not bad for a $6,200 golfer. What a call by Michael right there. So solid lineup. But what you think of the lineup? You already went over. We're good.
Yeah, it was good. Very balanced. But that sometimes works, but it works when you have Fitz and Norton and Hadwin in there who all smash. So
and Burns, Burns was only like 9,300, I think, right? 96.
96. But look, you can play the chalk. It's obviously important to have the winner. You can play the chalk like this if you find somebody like Barnrat for 6,200.
Yep, and 18 birdies. It's pretty solid. Yeah. So solid lineup by Michael Astrup. You'll be in the 4-man once again. With Tambo, me, Baroff, and yourself. So nice little win. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this week. If I can pull it up. Not one of my favorite weeks, really. What do you think of the match play? When it comes to the gambling and is there a strategy you take? A DFS?
I don't like watching it. I'm not going to sit and watch it. But no, I like that we have DraftKings contests. I like that there's an edge, and you're going to get probably 10 to 20% of the lineups that are dead just based on roster construction. And I think also, for all the randoms who are playing, one, they're going to spend all the salary, right? I think you have an edge there if you leave some money. And two, they're not going to want to pick the upsets. And the thing is, it's certainly a week where you can jam some guys in. So
you see wild shit in this tournament. Like a couple years ago, I think there was only one number 1 seed that made it to the Sweet 16. Random people make it out of groups all the time. I think if you're going to bet, I think the best way to go about it is, throw a couple out there early on, but Friday, who's going to make it and who's not. And you try and find the guy who's going up against Rom or something. And the winner makes it. Say it's Munoz and Rom. Say it's Munoz and Rom. They make it. They're both 2-0 and they play on Friday or whatever. I'm guessing here. I don't know when they play, but somewhere in that situation, you can get Munoz at 60 to 1. or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some.
Then.
Yeah, I mean,
that might be a way to go.
Yeah, I definitely would not I made, I think 3 bets so far, and we'll save 1 or 2 more for after we get through the pods. But there's some massive discrepancies because again, all of this is based on world ranking points. Obviously, world ranking points are not really what dictates who is playing the best. Just throw it out there. You have a tier 3 player like Sergio Garcia. He's half the odds of most of tier 2. If you look at guys Webb and Homa, even Thomas Peters, who's obviously way in triple digits, their world ranking points are way higher, but obviously for half the price, you get Sergio. So
yeah. Yep. So let's talk about this week a little bit, and I'll go over all the strategy and everything. So will Ryan after it finished. But the top golfers, they head to Austin, Texas, match play, Austin Country Club. It used to be single elimination. They did away with that. 16 groups. And then, one golfer comes out of each group for the Sweet 16. Once you get to the Sweet 16, it's a single elimination. The scoring, a little different. Holes 1 plus 3 points, have 0.75 points, lost minus 0.75 points, holes not played, plus 1.6 points to the winner only. Matches 1 is plus 5 points. Matches have plus 2 points. 3 consecutive holes 1 plus 5 points. No holes lost in the match plus 7.5 points. Now, of course, there is a major issue when it comes to withdrawals. Withdrawals happen fairly often in the match play. Golfers can easily have zero chance of advancing after their outcomes of the first 2 rounds. And, sometimes they might not even show up on Friday. It's happened maybe once or twice before. Woodland, a few years ago, Jason Day, Berger had an injury that took him out. Now, if and when this happens, DraftKings said a non-withdrawal golfer will get 33.8 points total, 28.8 points for the 18 holes not played, and 5 points for the win. There's no way really to predict that this is going to happen, but just a heads up for the scoring. Now, when it comes to strategy and lineup construction, that's going to be your biggest bet. We hear this every year, but we'll go over it again. Don't roster 2 golfers in the same pod. Pretty self-explanatory reasoning here. Only one can get through. It sort of makes diminishes your odds. Don't roster 2 golfers who can play each other in the round of 16. They have a good, the key to having a good GPP lineup this week is striving to have all 6 of your golfers in the quarterfinals. It can't happen when you roster 2 golfers that could play each other in the Sweet 16. That one you should follow that rule, but you don't really have to. Hopefully, but you should if you want to optimize the most points you could possibly get. But I can understand reasonings why some people wouldn't want to do that. Pay more attention to projected ownership. Some chalk will make too much sense to pass up, but wild things happen at the match play. The variance is just insane. Going contrarian will give you your best chance of finishing high in GPPs. Don't only roster the number 1 seeds in each pod. Since the round robin format began 6-7 years ago, less than half the top seeds from each group have made it to the Sweet 16. This one's a sort of new one for me. If you do decide to play cash, I will not play cash, and there's too much variance, too much craziness, too much wild shit. But if you decide to play double ups or 50-50s, then some people think it would make sense to set 6 guys on one side of the draw. Since all 6 can make the Elite 8.
No, don't do that.
This is what some people say. The only reason I would say that you could think like this is because if you get 2 of 6 make it to the Final 4, you're going to win in cash. You're going to win. So if you pick 6 guys from the 16 pods that are on, say, the left side, the odds of you getting 2 increase. I would not do this.
Well, then pick 6 guys in one pod. Why don't you? Right, in one quadrant.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, but I don't know. This is just some stuff that I've heard. Again, I don't play. I'm not going to play cash this week, and I probably wouldn't go this direction either. Now, so let's go ahead and move on to the course. Unlike most weeks, where knowing how a course is set up is a good base to start your research. Match play a little bit different. In my opinion, the course setup and layout means less than it normally would for a stroke play event. Pretty self-explanatory stuff there. Nevertheless, major parts of the course: Austin Country Club, 7,100 yards, par 71, Pete Dye, 3 reachable par 5s, precision, accuracy off the tee, usually more important than distance. The course actually feels like 2 different courses. The front 9 a lot tighter off the tee. Back nine much more open. Bunkers are in play off the tee. A few holes with water as well. The rough isn't going to be as crazy. Isn't going to be as light as it will be at like Corrales this week. But it's not going to be crazy thick, crazy long. Though the back nine is more open off the tee, trees line the fairways, a bit more on the back than you do on the front, though they can be an issue on air and drives on both nines. On approach shots, golfers will see a wide array of green sizes ranging from small to fairly large. Greens are guarded by pot bunkers, water, and multiple runoff areas. The Bermuda grass greens have a good amount of undulation and should be firm and should be quick. What are you looking for specifically in golfers this week? I mean, do you throw all your stats out the window? I mean, like, what's the most important thing for you when you're looking at a golfer this week, Ryan?
Birdies, birdie rate for sure. I mean, I think it's not a long course, right? And I mean, you can see that from the scorecard and from the names that have done well here. I mean, Bubba, obviously a long hitter, but he does well on shorter courses. Billy Horschel won here, Kevin Kisner won here, Matt Kuchar's done well here. Guys like Oosthuizen have done well here. So you don't need to be long. It's basically, it's going to be a wedge fest for a lot of these guys. And then, as you said, there are 3 reachable par 5s, have at least one drivable par 4, number 13, the one over the water. But they can make number 18 drivable as well. So I think, yes, the longer hitters will be fine, but anybody can do well here. I want scorers. And I think that is one of the more predictable stats that we have, just looking at birdie rate, eagle rate, things like that.
Sounds good. I like a little bit of form coming in too. Guys who haven't really been playing too well. I mean, like I said, you've seen crazy stuff happen. Just a little bit of form coming in here. But yeah, birdies, form, wedge play, certain aspects. And of course, I think putting, of course, the most variable stat there is, but I think it is important because these putters can get hot and then they can just be over. No matter how good a person is playing, you can magic beans it in with Jordan Spieth or a Mac Hughes or someone like that, just going all out and just holding everything. The thing is, you could see even crazier. So maybe Will Zalatoris can make 5-footers. If he does, I mean, he's got to be someone that you got to think about, right? But is anyone going to give him the 3-footers all day? I don't think so, right?
Oh God, no! He'll be putting everything.
They're going to make his ass putt everything. All right, so we're going to do things a little bit different this week for our rundown. We're actually going to use the bracket challenge, the bracket that is up on PGAtour.com, fantasybracket.pgatour.com, and we're going to start and we're going to go over every quadrant and who we think we're going to go through. We'll stop at every pod. I'm sorry, and every quadrant we'll stop and we'll go over who we think is going to go through in that quadrant. So a little bit different. And then we'll still name the prices. Before we get into these quadrants, let's go ahead and pay some bills. The teams have been fighting all season long to secure their shot at being crowned the champion. Just as the teams are in pursuit of glory, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving their new customers a shot at royalty with 40-1 odds on any college basketball game. Just bet $5 on any college basketball team to win their next game, and if they win, DraftKings will pay out $200 in free bets. DraftKings Sportsbook has nearly endless ways to get in on the action, from same-game parlays to future betting. Feel the sweat with DraftKings now. Don't worry if you've already taken advantage of this offer. There are still plenty of ways to get in on the hoops action with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. DraftKings offers nearly endless opportunities to make it rain with their daily fantasy contests, which have millions of dollars up for grabs every week. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code FGD. Throw down just $5 on a college basketball game of your choice and get $200 in free bets if the team you choose wins. That's code FGD at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, nice little promo there by DraftKings. But let's go ahead and get to these pods. We're going to go ahead and start off on the top left of the bracket. We're going to go with the pod number 1. It's going to be John Rahm, Patrick Reed, Cameron Young, and Sebastian Munoz. How are you going about this? Who do you like? Who do you like to win? Who do you think can sleep through? Maybe a sleeper.
Yeah, I mean, this is a sneaky good pod. I mean, Patrick Reed obviously hasn't been very good. Showed something at the Players, although it was kind of all short game, but it's kind of what he does. He's back home in Texas. I think anytime you get in match play, he's going to be a bit of a trendy pick. Cameron Young has been great. also feel like, thanks to Pat Mayo, he'll be a trendy pick. He was all over him earlier. I'm just eating the chalk here. I'm gonna take Rom. He's been strong in match play. He's done well here. Obviously, the ball striking is out of control this year, and I feel like the pendulum has swung the other way. Everybody thought he was the best. He was great. He was this. He was that. Everyone thinks he stinks now. He's overrated. He can't win. I'm gonna take Rom here.
Yeah, I mean, I like Rom. I think he's going to win the pot as well. But Munoz catches my eye, especially at 6,300. I think Rom is one of the highest priced guys this week. He's 11-3. Rom is going. Munoz is 6,300. Like you said, when it comes to birdies, Munoz makes a lot of birdies. And he lost to Rom one up, one down last year in the first round. Went to the 18th hole against John Rahm. I think Munoz even made it. Didn't Munoz win the bracket? Didn't he go to the?
I think so.
Didn't he go to the semis or something like that? Didn't he make the Final Four?
I don't know if he made the Final Four. He could have. I didn't watch much of it last year. Yeah. But no, man. I mean, I love Cameron Young here. I just think he got a tough draw.
It is tough. Let me. I like Munoz as a sleeper in here, but of course I'm going to go with Rahm to win it. But when it comes to DraftKings, I'll have Rahm lineups. I'll have Munoz lineups, and maybe Pat will talk me into Cameron Young lineups. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's go ahead and double check Munoz's record from last year because it's really bothering the hell out of me. No, he finished 61st. So he didn't. So I guess he didn't even make it out. I don't know what I was thinking. Either way, I still like him. I think he could do pretty well in this quadrant. If he just gets past Rahm, that's going to be the big one for him this week. Let's move on to the next bracket. It's going to be the one underneath. It is what number is it? It is Group 16. It's going to be Koepka, Evan Van Rooyen, Shane Lowry, Harold Varner III. Harold's sort of interesting here. Not really known as a match play guy, but he's been playing really good golf, like some of the best golf of his career. I don't know if I can actually press the button because I like Shane Lowry a lot in this field. I think Lowry comes out of it, but Varner tickles the fancy a little bit just because of how well he's playing and how crazy stuff that we've seen in this. And again, another cheapie down here where Harold Varner III is only 6,700. And now Lowry, who I do like, is also is what? 8,400, which is not a bad price for Shane Lowry when it comes to DraftKings. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'm with you here. I mean, Lowry's probably going to be the chalk pick here. I don't know how popular he'll be for 8,400, but I would imagine at least 25-30% of brackets are probably going to have him winning here. I don't mind Varner. I don't mind EVR. I mean, Brooks was better last week, but it just doesn't seem like a spot where he's really going to try that hard. It's hard because the last couple of years here, I'm pretty sure he was hurt around this time of year and either not playing or just didn't care that much. All he cares about is being healthy and being ready for Augusta. So it's a pass for me.
All right. So let's go to the next range. It's going to be Group 8. DJ. Hold on. Why is it different? Oh, you're right. I got it. We're right. DJ, Mackenzie Hughes, Max Homa, Matthew Wolff. DJ runs away with this, right?
He should. I think Homa makes sense for the course. But over the last couple of weeks, it seems like DJ's gotten his mojo back. I mean, obviously didn't finish well last weekend, but I saw enough that I'm going to take DJ. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to mess with anyone else in that bracket. If I do, it might be Matt Hughes just because of his putter. You never know when that guy can just go crazy with it, but I don't think I'm going to use anyone else in that bracket except Dustin Johnson. All right, let's move on to the next group. It's going to be Group 9. Bryson, Richard Bland, Taylor Gooch, Lee Westwood.
Yeah, interesting. Bryson got quite a soft bracket for his first event back. I'm just not ready to go there yet with him. Obviously, he's been hurt, not playing much. I feel like this is fairly wide open, but Taylor Gooch is probably going to take it. Lee Westwood is an absolutely not. Richard Bland, obviously wild card, just happy to be here. He'll play Houston next week. He'll play the Masters after that. Very straight, accurate hitter, good wedge player. So I guess he could make sense, but I'm taking Taylor Gooch out of this pod.
Yeah, I'm going wild on this one. I'm going Bland. Yeah. There's always some craziness that comes along. And this seems like a bracket, a pod where craziness will happen. I just feel like, like you said, wedge play, and he's accurate off the tee. I like that for Pete Dye courses. He's won, and he's coming second. Actually, he's won once at least, and he's had he had a runner up, at least one or two runner ups over there over the pond, coming out at like 49 years old. What the hell does he have to lose? Go out there, play balls to the wall, enjoy your time here against guys who, have a little bit more to prove. I mean, Bryson needs to show where he's at. Westwood, if he wants to make a Ryder Cup team, he's not going to. He's too old now. I think he can just eliminate Westwood. And then Gooch, who didn't do that well the last time out while he was here. So I sort of like the wildness in this one. I'm going to go with Bland as my pick. So of these four groups and the guys we picked, who do you see advancing into that final eight, playing against each other?
Yeah, so I took Chalk, Rom, and DJ. I'm sure it won't play out that way, but I think both of them are playing pretty well right now, and they have decent paths. So Rom and DJ. Yeah,
I'm going Rom and DJ in this as well, and I have actually DJ beating Rom. You have Rom beating DJ, correct?
Correct.
Yep. Is there anyone else that you can see that has a chance to break that Rom DJ? I think Lowry has a shot.
I
think he's like the best bet, I think.
Yeah, or Brooks if he advances from there. But I mean, there's plenty of good players there. I mean, even Taylor Gooch. Like if DJ, for example, kind of weren't to make it out of his pod, and maybe you get like a Gooch Homa matchup in round 2, like either of those guys could certainly get through.
All right, so let's move to the next bracket. The bottom bracket, we're going Group 4: Cantlay, Killer Keith Mitchell, Sung J M, Seamus Power. This is an interesting group. I think it could go a lot of different ways. I mean, I like Cantlay. I have Cantlay going through, but I could see Killer Keith making some noise on the Bermuda Greens. He's been playing really good golf here recently. If he can just get through that first round matchup with Patrick Cantlay, he might have a row. What do you think?
Yeah, I took the upset here. I took Keith Mitchell. He's underrated, just been playing so well. I mean, top 20 after top 20 after top 20. Ball striking's been good, but so is the putting, like you mentioned. He'll be fine on these surfaces. It's obviously his best surface. I could see him making some noise too at very low ownership. Like I think as you look through these tiers and the guys who are the B players, right? He is probably the best of the B players. So you can make an argument for Lowry with how he's playing now, but overall, like I think that's a little bit of a tough pod for Cantlay. And everybody's picking Cantlay. I haven't seen or read or heard anyone who is not taking Cantlay.
Yeah, no, I like that. I might go a little bit more. I'll probably play both in separate lineups, of course. But I like Mitchell. I like Mitchell a lot too in this. Let's move on to the next bracket, Group 13: Hatton, Bezuidenhout, Berger, Siwoo. This is not an easy bracket either. I think anyone can come out of here. I'm going to go Hatton on here just because he's been playing so well here, in the last month or so. Lots of top finishes for Tyrrell Hatton. First, putting has been really, really solid, really good, decent, well above average with his wedges here. I actually have him ranked 5th in my model. I like Hatton to come out of this group, but you can make an argument for any single person here. I know Bezuidenhout is going to pick up some steam just because of how cheap he is. He is around the greens, how good of a putter he normally is. And you got Berger, who's coming off just a couple tournaments he probably should have won. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I have Berger rated as one of the top 10 in this field above Hatton, so I'm just going to trust that and take him. He doesn't have a great match play record, surprisingly. I mean, he kind of gets the reputation of being a grinder, being hard to beat, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, like what you said, Hatton is playing well, playing consistently. I think people will pick Bez and they will pick Siwoo, but I don't see either of the two of them getting through this.
Yeah. So all right. So let's move on to the next one. This one's real interesting. This one's the battle of the Ryder Cup here. It's like the Euros versus like the man who was Scotty Scheffler, who did extremely well at the Ryder Cup this past year and was riding a hot streak. I think the Europeans take him down. I'm not going with Scotty this week. I think Mr. Fleetwood playing pretty good golf. It looks like his form is coming back a little bit. I think you can get him at pretty low ownership. If you look at his price, Whereas again, $8,000, very, very respectable, very easy to put into a lineup. I like Fleetwood a lot in this lineup. I think he's the one that comes through.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can make a lot of arguments here. People will probably gravitate towards choosing upsets in this pod. I'm not. I'm going to go with the guy who he almost won here last year, has the UT ties, playing pretty much as well as anyone in the world right now. So I will take Scottie Scheffler. See,
the problem I see with this is if you roster it in DraftKings, you're going to have to, and you want Rahm, you have Rahm as the winner, and he's 11-3, and Scottie's 11,000. That makes the rest of your bracket very tough to fill out. And if if you're wrong on either one of them, you're basically done. Because you're going to have them go pretty far, not just to the Sweet 16 was where I would guess you'd have both those guys going, maybe meeting each other in the Final Four or whatever. And so it's tough on that one, trying to roster both of them. So I think when it comes down to it, I will pick one, and I'm going to pick Rahm over Chef. And that's why I have to sort of not go with Scottie in this one and go with one of the cheaper guys. And I like Tommy. Let's go to this next group. This one seems like, okay, it seems like Billy Horschel will run away with it, right? Don't sleep on Hollywood Hoagie. That guy is just playing really, really good golf. The past month and a half, he's had his win. He's had, a couple of other top tens, $6,800, pretty cheap to fill out your lineup. I like Hoagie, and I like Hoagie, and I like Horschel. I'll roster both in this.
It's Hoagie, yeah. He's a great price, like what you mentioned, been playing well. And he's doing it with the irons, right? And when the irons are good, what does that lead to? It leads to short birdie putts, and he makes a lot of birdies. He's a Texas guy too, Texas A&M, I think. Yeah, I will take Hoagie in the upset here over Horschel, and I think it's a great DraftKings price.
Yeah, I mean, I like Horschel, Hoagie. I think one of those. Well, who do you think makes it into this? Who do we see in the Elite Eight from the up top? I mean, I think we could. I'm going Hatton up top, and then the bottom, I'm going to go Fleetwood. I'm going to all Euro matchup in the Elite Eight, but I can see Hoagie in there. I can see Horschel. I can see Mitchell. I can see Cantlay, but I'm going Hatton and Fleetwood.
Yeah, for the sake of brackets, I'm taking Berger and Scottie Scheffler, but this is where a lot of my value will come from. I'm going to build a lot of DraftKings teams around Hoagie and Keith Mitchell. I just think both of them, one, have a great chance of kind of winning their pod. And really, like, for a 6,800 guy, like, you don't need Hoagie to go to the Final Four. If he wins his pod for 6,800, like, it's very possible he can be in a winning lineup.
So I like that. All right, let's move on to the top right of our bracket. We got group number 2, Morikawa, Bobby Mack, Kokrak, Sergio. Now, I was thinking about this pretty hard. Will Morikawa be way lower owned than he should be?
Yes.
I think so too, and I think that's why you roster him, right?
Maybe. I really haven't played much of him this year, and it's been okay. He really hasn't done well, except costing me a Rory ticket over in Europe. But he seems off a little bit. Like, even watching the little bit of Valspar that I watched, I mean, obviously missed the cut at Players on a great golf course for him. And then even last week, hit some really bad iron shots. And his short game's not sharp right now. Not that it ever is, but it had been better this year. I think something's off with him right now, so I'm going to stay away. And I think you have good options here, not just in his pod, but this entire quadrant. I think there's a lot of guys who can come out of this.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Mack went pretty far last year. Something about lefties at this course have predominantly done pretty well. I have a lefty shocker in the next group. So let's go ahead and go down to that. The group 15, Answer, Bubba, Webb, and Brian Harman. I like Harman. After what he did last week, coming in hot, really good final round at the Valspar to get there. Left-handed, of course, should suit him. Webb, you don't really know about, even though he did play pretty well yesterday. Could be sneaky. Webb could be sneaky. Answer has been sort of off this year, even though this is a Pete Dye course and he loves Pete Dye. This is a tricky bracket. I think any one of these four can come out. I'm going to go with Harman on this one, just because, there's craziness that abounds, and he played really well last week, and he showed me a little bit of the grogginess that I watched, a little bit like this, trying to watch Brian, oh, is that Brian Harmon? That's Brian Harmon. And and so so I like Harmon in that one. What do you think?
I'm going the other way, the other lefty. I will take Bubba Watson here. Obviously, he's played well here before, played well on other PTI golf courses. I'm going to overlook the miscut last week. One, he missed on the number. Anytime a guy misses right on the number, I'm not really all that worried. He just couldn't make any birdie putts last week. And I think that turns because he has been making plenty of birdies, even at the Players golf course that he hadn't really played well on historically. He made a shit ton of birdies. So I will take Bubba Watson as the 4 seed coming out of here.
All right, let's go on the group 7. Xander, Takumi Kanaya, Finau, and Lucas Herbert. Xander, I feel like
this is where you get your leverage. Yeah, this is where, Xander might be the highest owned player this week. Will probably be the highest one and done unless people have already burned him, which I guess they may have. But this is it seems on paper, a layup of a pool for him.
It should be, right? Who would you take if you didn't take Xander? Herbert?
I would probably just take Finau just because even when he's not playing well, he can make birdies, but he's bad right now. So no, I'm going to take Xander here and not think twice about it.
Just eat the chalk. I think I might go there too. It's hard. Yeah. I'd have to think the other 3 might be 3 of the lower owned guys that you're going to get. So if you want to play that game, this could be a place to go ahead and do that when it comes to ownership and going against the grain, because you probably only need 20% of these guys to be double the field and still be okay. So making that risk, it doesn't kill all your MME GPP lineups that you have. But I think Xander runs away with it. But we've seen crazy shit happen. I might throw a pick, a 1 or 2 on these other guys. All right, let's go to the group 10. This one's a tough group. This is a hard group right here. Usti, Noren, Casey, Connors. I really like Noren and Casey a lot. I really wish they weren't in the same group. It's going to be tough picking one of them out. And Connors seems like this course should fit him again with the wedge play and being accurate off the tee. And then Usti has a really, really solid match play record, one of the best in the field. So this is a tough group. I'm going to go Noren because of the way he's been playing so well. But if he's like 25% owned, which could happen, I might have to go Casey or Usti instead. We'll have to see what the ownership say tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty similar. I think Noren is going to be very popular. People just like playing Alex Noren, and now he's playing well, making a lot of birdies. He's been in the top 10, top 20 the past few weeks. So I like him. I think he's a great DraftKings play, but I also think he'll be popular. So if he is, I think it's absolutely a pivot to Oosthuizen for 9K, who's going to be like 8% owned, maybe less.
Yeah. So right now I have Harmon and Noren making it to the Elite 8 in this group. I think it's going to be, I'm going to stick with Harmon, but I think whoever wins that group 10 is going to go up against him. That's what I feel like. I think Xander's just too easy of a play. And that's another reason why you could think about fading him at 30% maybe owned this week, because I think he loses in that first 16 to whoever comes out of group 10. So that's how I'm going. I'm going Harmon, winner of group 10, and I have the winner of group 10 going to the final 4.
Yep. Yeah, pretty similar. I'm going to fade Xander there as well. So I have Bubba against Noren there in my Elite 8, and I put Bubba in the final 4.
There you go. I have Noren in there now, but that could change. We'll see how that goes. All right, let's move to our final quadrant. We're going group 3. Victor Hovland, Sepp Straka, Willie Z, Cameron Tringale. Who do you like?
This is tough because coming into the week, I absolutely love Zalatoris. I don't think this is a great spot for him pool-wise, but and he's Andrikers, but I'm going to stick with it. Zalatoris. I also bet him, so I guess I should pick him to win his pool.
Yeah, I like Hovland. I think he's going to win, but my sleeper is Straka. The guy won a couple weeks ago, top 10 a couple weeks ago, playing really, really, really good golf. The form is there. No one's going to roster him in this group. You can get him cheap too. What's he priced? Just Giuseppe. I really wish his name was Giuseppe. $7,000. You can get him nice and cheap Wild shit has happened. I think you can see some wild stuff in this group. I like Straka a lot. I like Hovland too. So I'll be playing both of those guys. Let's move on to Group 14. Neiman, Maverick McNeely, Kevin Na, Russell Henley. The one stat that stuck out to me about Russell Henley is of all the matches he's played, I think all of them have gone to 18. I think I don't think he has like a winning record.
It's because he makes a lot of bogeys and then makes a lot of birdies.
All of his losses have gotten to the final hole. I think maybe this year, this is the time for him to turn around. I like Henley in the group this week, and priced at $7,900. His wedge play from 100 to 125 is one of the best in the field. Iron game exceptionally strong. Top 10 in birdies are better. I think he can make his move in an event like this.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I certainly like Henley as well. I also think he'll be pretty popular this week. I'm out on Na for sure. Just the anti-baby swag. Just had a baby. Really hasn't been playing much. And then McNeely was a late ad. I mean, I guess, you want a roster guy who can make a lot of putts, but this is not McNeely's best surface. It's his first time playing in this. So I'm going to take Henley, but obviously wouldn't be surprised if Neiman just dusted all three of them.
Yeah, I can see that too. And Neiman's price isn't like insane either. What is it? It's $8,600. It's not, he's only 600 more than 700 more than Henley. I mean, It might be, I'm probably going to play both of those guys when it comes down to it. All right, let's. Is this the group of death coming up? Group 6: JT, Luke List, Kisner, Leishman. Another rematch. I mean, everyone's going to go Kisner, JT, right? Do we throw Leishman in?
I think I think Kisner's going to be popular, but I'm hearing Leishman quite a bit already today.
Really? Mm-hmm. I haven't been paying attention. I've been at work all day, so I haven't really listened to too many other people's stuff. I try not to until after we do our podcast. I think JT comes out of this group. I think that just the way he's been playing has been exceptionally good. Just top 10 after top 10 after top 10 after top 10. A win is coming. It's either he's going to win this one or he's going to win the Masters. It's like his.
Why not both? Bet him for both.
Game is getting to a point where he's going to win soon. And why not this week? I'll go ahead and throw JT in there. All right, last group. Jordan Spieth, Keegan Bradley, Adam Scott, Justin Rose. You're getting Scott and Rose, who haven't really done much on this course. They don't play this event very often. Spieth, who hasn't been great lately, but showed a little something earlier in the year, and Keegan, who's been playing probably the best golf out of all of them, except for maybe last week. Who you going with?
I'm going to take who I feel is an underdog here for some reason, Jordan Spieth. I don't think people are on him this week. I don't think anybody's talking about him. But I don't know. He makes birdies. It's okay to make bogeys here. It's match play. Adam Scott will probably be a fairly trendy pick. I have no interest in Justin Rose. And then Keegan makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. Do you see Keegan winning matches? Not really.
Yeah, I don't know. I have Keegan right now, but I think I might switch to Spieth. I think you're right. If he goes overlooked, I could see that being a nice little play for only $8,600, something affordable, where you could still go Rahm, Spieth. You can make a lineup with Rahm, Spieth, Noren. You can do stuff and still have playing left over to make out the rest of your lineup. So yeah, I don't mind Spieth at all. Who do you have coming out of here?
So I have Spieth over JT and Zalatoris over Henley, and then I have Zalatoris beating Spieth in the round of 8.
I have JT going all the way and going all the way actually to the final. So my final 4 as of now: DJ, Hatton, Noren, JT. What about yours? What do you have for your final 4?
I have an All-American final 4 here: Rahm, Scheffler, Bubba, Zalatoris.
Is Rahm American? I guess. Okay, all American.
Here he is. Yes.
Okay. I have DJ versus JT in the finals, and DJ winning is what I have this week. JT just coming up a little bit short, just so he can get that last little second place before he wins the Masters in 2 weeks. That's what I'm looking at. Who do you have winning it?
I also have a couple of prolific anti-winners. I have Rahm and Zalatoris in the final. I guess one of them has to win at that point. I have Zalatoris winning. I just think it's definitely the right kind of event for him. He's from Texas, obviously, has probably played here a bunch. I have no idea, but he probably has. And he's just so close. And when you hit that many quality iron shots, even with the yippee putting stroke, he's a good putter outside of 4 feet. Like, he really is. He makes a lot of 15,
lag
20,
putting
25
pretty good.
putters.
Pretty good lag putting.
And yeah, like, I feel like for match play, again, you look at the guys who have done well here, it's those ball strikers, because it's so demoralizing in match play when your opponent hits it to 5 feet every hole. And I think that's what he can do to people. So let's go, Will.
All right, that sounds good. Let's get to our bets for the week. So I got 4 bets. I got Dustin Johnson 20-1, Hatton 30-1, Harmon 60-1, Noren 65-1.
Got it. I did 3 so far. I took Zalatoris at 50. I took Bubba at 80. And oh God, I'm drawing a blank on my third one because I didn't have it up here. I took Xander at 28. I thought, because I was thinking about fading him on DraftKings for that purpose and wanted to cover it with a bet. But the more I look at it, I'm not going to fade him. I'm just going to play him, and I'll get creative elsewhere. So,
yep. All right, one and done. I'm going a little bit off the loop. I'm going to go Brian Harmon.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a week you can take anybody, because, like, yes, if you get the winner, great, but everybody else is basically making the same. There's guaranteed money here. So I'm between Zalatoris and Xander. I'm probably just going to take Xander because there's a better chance that he wins his pool, and it's not like I'm going to save him for something. So
yeah. All right, that sounds good. Tell them where they can find you there, Mr.
Yep.
Baroff.
Twitter, rbaroff427, and we'll be on the Golflandia podcast with Matt probably tomorrow night.
Nice. You can find me on Twitter at KendoVT. My article is out on gupscorner.com. Use promo code Kenny. Save yourself 30% on a membership. All right, Ryan, it's been a nice, fun 2 weeks here with you. Hopefully we can get some of that Tambo swag after him winning almost 100K last week. So let's go. Let's win some motherfucking money. Degen Nation.
I've been getting dirty money, Jordan.